There's a Peruvian, I know it from Peru, La perseverancia es donde los dioses. It's perseverance is where the gods dwell.
Perfect.
And that's a very nice way to say it. And you're correct, Lawrence. In 70 or so films, 70 plus films, not a single actor ever got injured. Not one.
That's
not
remarkable.
one.
That's remarkable.
Not a single one. However, I was injured. Some crew members were injured. I remember Fitzcarraldo, the cinematographer Thomas Mauch, he had a handheld camera, but at that time, celluloid 35 millimeter, and it was 20 kilos heavy, huge piece of iron, and we banged into a rock when the ship goes through the rapids.
Sure.
And the impact, we had several impacts, but that one was so ferocious that the lens shot away from out of the camera, and we flew after it. I tried to hold him, and he landed some 30 yards further down with his hands on the deck, with a camera in his hand, and it split his hand apart between the last and the ring finger, all the way to the center of the hand, and we had to operate him and stitch him together.
Did you have a doctor on site at the time?
We had a doctor, and we had a very, very good Peruvian paramedic who was very good in stitching, by the way, and very good as a midwife. He was always in childbirth there, and he was the real best. Dislocated shoulder, he would massage back in. He was really good. And at the time, we didn't have any anesthesia left, because only 2 days before we had an incident where people who were fishing, local people, native people who were fishing for us further upriver, were attacked by a semi-nomadic tribe that was not contacted by civilization. And they were very hostile. And we had the driest dry season in recorded history. And the river further up, 10 days further up, dried out.
Oh, my goodness.
And they moved along with the dwindling water, probably in search of turtle eggs. And at night, they attacked our 3 people. And one man was shot through the throat with an arrow. If you reach out right next to you, there are some arrows. Reach a few.
Oh, yes.
Give me a few.
A few?
Yeah, there's.
I'll give you one at a time.
You see, there are something like
they're beautiful.
6 feet tall.
Wow.
And actually,
don't want to stab.
You still can feel.
Are these from that?
No, from a different tribe, from a different movie. Inside here, they are still poisoned, but it's not like curare that would kill you. It's an anticoagulant. So if you shoot it up here, the bleeding would not stop easily. But it's mostly they're that long because they keep straight when they enter water, so they do not wobble, and you can shoot fish. And it was exactly the same type of arrows. And he was shot through, it split open his shoulder, stuck through his neck, and was with a arrow tip was stuck in the other shoulder, but the arrow was still through his throat. And the arrow itself, the shaft, had broken off, and he survived.
He survived?
We operated on the kitchen table.
Wow.
Because we couldn't transport them.
Sure,
The woman was also had 3 shots, one in the abdomen, one through the body here.
Well, they were very lucky. We're filming nearby. They would have been...
sure. And we had medical people, but we knew we couldn't transport them anymore. There was no way they would die during transport.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
So we instantly started to operate on them.
Did someone also get bitten by a snake in that movie?
He sawed off his foot in order to survive. Yeah, but those are the things that may happen. But here with these arrows, it was really an unusual experience for making a movie.
Yes, yeah.
And I assisted with a torchlight illuminating, for example, the abdominal cavity of the woman who was, because one arrow was stuck inside the pelvis.
And none of them died?
They saw two of them. They both survived.
Wow.
And with my other hand, with a mosquito repellent, I sprayed away the clouds of mosquitoes that were attracted by and it was on the kitchen table.
Oh, geez. Okay. Well, there you go. That's doable, but difficult.
Yeah, and
but
unusual. Those things.
Yeah, but
they do happen, and you see some of it. Actually, it's not made up. You have to watch Les Blanc's film "Burden of Dreams." Mm-hmm. You see the man who had the arrow through the neck, and of course he can only speak in a whisper. But he survived.
But surviving. That's amazing. Well, so yeah, if it's worth doing and if it's difficult, it's worth doing, I guess. But it's
yes, but you do not expect such an event. In a way, yes, we were medically fairly well equipped, but you have to be prepared to not somehow get frightened and delegate the case to the next hospital let's say, in Iquitos, which is 800 kilometers away.
Sure, yeah.
You just can't do it. You have to take a decision, whether it's right or wrong.